Awesome. Thank you so much. Give me one sec here. Cool. Can everyone see my screen? Awesome. Looks good. Well, thank you so much for having me, TechTO. For everyone attending, super excited to be here and chatting with you today. I've only got 5 short minutes, but going to make the most of it and talk about how you can land your dream job without applying on a job board. So a little bit about myself. I've been in the tech industry for the last decade, and I've worked for some of the biggest companies out there, Oracle, Salesforce, Shopify, and I've actually never applied to a job through a job board. So transitioning outside of tech, I've been working closely with millennials now who feel stuck in their earning potential or looking to transition to tech for the first time, really helping to find a way that they can get into the market and how they can break into it. So I want to talk through a little bit of an agenda in terms of what we're going to talk about today. One, we're just going to chat through like how companies go about hiring, how to stand out from the crowd. Speaking in the one-on-one with a few folks before this, they mentioned that was the exact words they actually used when trying to apply. So hopefully that resonates with you all. And then really what I find is my favorite thing, which we're going to spend the most time on, is really the power of the informational interview and how you can go about standing out from the crowd. So before we hop into it all, let's just think about how companies hire in the first place. First, they look to hire internally. For a lot of the bigger type companies out there, they usually have cyclical hiring cycles where at one point in the year, that's where they look to promote internally. And if they can't find someone internally, that's where they'll usually ask employees if they have any referrals or past colleagues or friends that they can actually reach out to and see if they would be a good fit for a job. And the third phase of this is if they can't find any referrals, that's where you usually see this become a LinkedIn job posting where so many people apply to. So it's tough. Once you get to that actual point where company puts it out there, it's really tough to stand out from the crowd. And I coach a lot of my clients on this isn't necessarily a product problem, but it's really a marketing problem and trying to figure out ways that you can go and be different and be able to get in front of the recruiter and the hiring manager and really make an impact to tell your story and be successful within this. So what a lot of my students do and what I've always done to land jobs at those big tech companies is I really focus in on the informational interview. I tell a lot of my students, and for those of you that are in sales or have had a sales background, you really want to treat the interview cycle like a sales cycle. At first, what I suggest is trying to network with a lot of these folks that a potential job that you might want. So for example, if you're looking to get into Salesforce and you want to be an account executive there, see if you have any first degree connections or second degree connections that have that exact job that you're trying to find on LinkedIn. I want to be really specific here. Don't go to the managers directly, but really try and find the individuals yourselves. What you're really going to do in this situation is take this as a really big learning opportunity. Really understand the day-to-day, understand what some of the biggest learning curves are for them as they go through it, understand what the culture is like, understand exactly what you'd be getting yourself into. So at the end of the day, what you're trying to do is really make them a champion as you're going them further. A lot of companies these days have referral bonuses for employees. So an employee himself is really motivated also to make sure that you're successful because they have some skin in the game as well. So as you go through this process and ask them to make them your champion, you can see if they can even refer you, which gets you ahead of the stack, gets you into that phase 2 that I was talking about earlier within those organizations, and gives you an opportunity to also come to the hiring managers and the recruiters with perspective because you've already done your homework, and you can also have a person who's gone through the interview process guide you throughout that piece as well. I only had a few short minutes to chat through today, so wanted just to save the end for some Q&A. And if you'd like to follow me on LinkedIn and potentially work together, please feel free to send me a note. I'm more than happy to connect and see how we can chat.